Who I believe to be the true birthers of choosing beggars, it's entitled parents. Our first one is from Couch Potato Son. I, 19 female, am a server at a restaurant with a bar in it. The bar side of the restaurant is, of course, 21 plus, and anyone who orders an alcoholic beverage is required to show the waiter their ID. The rest of the restaurant, however, is child-friendly. We were serving breakfast, and I was serving a table of two, a young girl who looked about 8 or 9, and her entitled mother. However, this mom is more than entitled, as she will be arrested by the end of this story. I go and take their drink orders after the hostess sits them down. The young girl gets an orange juice, while the mother gets a water and mimosa. I, of course, check the mom's ID and see that she's born in the early 80s, so she's good for a mimosa. I let the bartender know I need a mimosa to serve, and I work on the orange juice for the child, and the mother's water. Once I have all 3 drinks, I serve their table and take their meal orders. Everything seems to be going smoothly, until I bring back their meals. As I bring back the plates, the mother screams at me, "You served my child alcohol!" I know for a fact that cannot be true because I'm the one who made the juice and never even went behind the bar where the drinks are. Ma'am, you must be mistaken. I didn't put any alcohol in the juice, and I had my eyes on it until it reached your table.
Well then smell it!
She handed me her child's glass, and it did smell like alcohol. Once again, I know that I did not put alcohol in your child's drink. Either someone did it while you weren't looking, or you did it yourself, but the juice had no alcohol before it came to your table. The mom looked at me angrily and demanded to see my manager.
I am going to sue you for giving my child alcohol. Bring me your manager.
I get the manager, and she gets both mine and the mom's side of the story. Security was even alerted because apparently the child had drunk a few sips of the alcohol. My manager, security, and I watched the security footage, since both me and the mom swear we didn't put alcohol in the juice. Not only did we discover that I was innocent, we saw the mom, as soon as I placed the glasses down and left, drink half of the child's juice and filled it back up with her mimosa, and then she instructed her child to drink some of it. The mother was arrested for giving her child alcohol and was given a lifetime ban from the restaurant. If she appears again, she will be immediately arrested again. Not how I planned my work morning, but at least it was amusing to watch an entitled mom get what she deserves. Edit, I was informed by someone who spoke to the kid that they didn't even want orange juice and hates orange juice. Her mom told her to order it so that she could mix the drinks. The child originally wanted chocolate milk. You best believe I made sure she got her chocolate milk. What an absolute fucked up parent. I don't even know how to put it any other way besides just call this woman an absolute piece of shit. She's definitely the kind of person though that would slip on a puddle that she intentionally creates to try to get a lawsuit. I'm glad in this case though, she got handcuffs instead. This next one is by Lash of the Lambs 13. My mother, 54, recently had a minor medical procedure done. Nothing invasive, but she did require stitches afterwards. She decided to get the procedure done while she was on family responsibility leave due to the fact that I, 16 female, was going for a major surgery on my hip, which, fair enough, I understand the logic behind that. However, this is where the story actually starts. 4 days after her procedure, I was 5 days post-op at this stage, she demanded that I take out her stitches because they were bothering her. I told her no, that the stitches were not ready to come out yet and that the wound had not healed enough. I have no formal medical training, but as someone who's had stitches and staples a lot myself, I could tell. Also, her stitches were in a place that would require me to kneel to remove them, and keep in mind, I was 5 days post-op after major hip surgery, so I physically wasn't able to do that. I told her I was uncomfortable removing her stitches because we only had a pair of nail clippers and a tweezer, and nowhere could we safely do it. So fast forward one day, She begrudgingly listened to me for the time being, and I thought that was the end of it. It was not. The next morning, I'm 6 days post-op now, the stitches have been in for 5 days. Around 10 a.m., I'm woken up by my mother screaming for me. Naturally, I rush to my parents' bedroom where she was calling me from. I walk in and my mother has ripped her stitches out with a pair of nail clippers and is bleeding. And the thread from the stitches is still in her, but the wounds were ripped open. She immediately demands that I fix this situation, which, yeah, okay, I totally get. I immediately start on doing that, grabbing something to stop the bleeding and carefully removing torn stitches with tweezers. This naturally required that I force myself to kneel to do so, and caused me severe pain, and my own wound started bleeding again too, because, well, I was also supposed to be on bed rest. So when I finish, I get back up, and this might be an overreaction from me, I don't know, but I blow up at her. I tell her that I told her not to try to take her own stitches out. I tell her that I explicitly warned her that they were not ready to come out. I mean, I was pissed. She's disregarded everything I said to her, refused to accept my answer when I told her no, and then forced me to kneel down in front of her and hurt myself because she couldn't handle having stitches for another day. Never mind that I had a wound in my hip that went down to the bone. Never mind that I had staples spanning across my entire hip. She wanted her stitches out, so I had to take them out because it was the least I could do after she gave birth to me. I don't know if this truly belongs on here, but that felt kind of entitled to me. Oh yeah, I'd say that definitely belonged in Entitled Parents, because that mother is super entitled. I just don't understand how she was so inconsiderate about her own daughters post-op and their instructions. And our final one is from Darth Curse 3131. For context, we live in an apartment building with 6 units. There are 2 parkings on each side of the building for a total of 8 parking spots. Both entrances are wide, like 2 to 3 cars wide, but the parkings don't reach at the back of the building, only the sides. Can't make a U-turn. Both entrances on the street and an elementary school is right at the end of that street, 2 houses down. There's a roundabout in front of that school for parents to drop off and pick up their kids. The mornings aren't that bad, as most kids walk or come by bus, or the parents very quickly drop them off into the roundabout, but lunches are crazy. My fiance comes back home during his lunch hour and always has to tell at least 3 parents to move from the entrance of our driveway. They don't park in the driveway, just in front of it. 2 or 3 cars usually. We can also see them park in front of other people's driveways. It would be fine if they were just parked on the street, but they kept blocking us. Their answers are usually, "Can't you wait 5 minutes while I get my kid?" Or, "You've got space to leave the driveway," or they ignore us completely. We called the school multiple times before to tell them what happened, but it seemed the parents could use the lessons in listening skills as the problems never went away. Well, this week, we've had enough. Parking illegally in front of a driveway is something the local police was very interested in, especially after 4 houses and 3 apartment blocks called them one after the other on the same day, Monday. We all called back Tuesday and it happened again, and they told us, "We hear you. Just make sure your cars aren't parked in front of your own driveways and we'll take care of it." That night, the town had posted a notice on their page to not park in front of driveways when picking up or dropping off your kids, and that a ticket could be issued. Subtle foreshadowing here. Well, yesterday was the day. 2 police cars came on the street and blocked in anyone who wanted to leave. They had prepared multiple infraction tickets, ready to be filled. They flagged down every single car that was parked even an inch in front of a driveway and issued tickets. The whole thing took at least an hour, as they wouldn't let anyone leave until everyone got their ticket and their gentle reminder not to park illegally. There was school today and we allowed an officer to park in our driveway to supervise the dropping off and picking up of kids at lunch. Guess word got around fast as no one stopped in front of anyone's driveways. The officer said next time it happens, take a picture and send it to his email. A picture is a good proof of a crime committed, and in a small town like ours, finding people like them is the highlight of their days. So all ends well for us, and not too good for the parents with poor listening skills. It really makes me wonder how these entitled parents would feel if people started, I don't know, maybe blocking their driveway and giving them the same BS excuses that they tried to give. Something tells me they wouldn't like it too much. But hopefully they all learn their lesson. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled Parents. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.